and very excited.
I think what he had to say tipped the scales for us to decide that
For most of this week, I have been in front of the computer more than normal.
I've been in front of the computer too, but I've been working on stuff.
He's been bringing in the money, and that's great. The reason I've been in front of the computer is all Marjory Wildcraft's fault, because she put together the Homegrown Food Summit, and it's just been amazingly great this year. I've loved it.
A lot of great
You know, I'm sure
people.
it was a great last year, but I was working, so I didn't get to see much of it. And this was just, it's been wonderful.
And there's still a couple days left.
There are. So I thought I would just go over some of the ones that I really, really liked and talk about why I liked them. Yesterday, I got to hear Sally Fallon, and, you know, I belong to Weston Price, and I have known Sally Fallon forever, but I've never heard her speak. And so it was...
You've known of her.
Of her. Yes, I don't know her. And this is Sally's book that she's had that's in everybody's kitchen that loves to cook natural, traditional, good food. But yesterday she was talking about nourishing fats. And fats, because I've studied nutrition so much, I know that fats is the one thing that causes everybody great problems, because they're like, it's so counter to what we've learned. And so when I use what I use, which I use everything she talked about, it was a joy to me to have her talk and me to go, yes, that's what I do. Yes, that's what I do. Oh, yes, that's what I do. It was
Validation.
Great. Validation. In fact, my sister called me today because there was an article that came out in USA Today that my brother brought to her attention that says that coconut oil is bad, that the American Heart Association said they've done more tests and it's bad, bad, bad. And I'm like, she goes, what do I do? And I said, keep using it. Ignore them. You know, and I told her about what we'd learned yesterday. So I got right online on Amazon and ordered her book. It'll be here tomorrow, Nourishing Fats. I'm super excited to be able to get that. And it felt so good to know that what I feed my husband and myself is what we're supposed to be eating. So that one was really, really good.
What comment on that? That it's not just what somebody has said, whether it's the USDA or Sally Fallon or somebody else. We know what we've been doing.
For 9 years.
We know how we feel. we know how we are health-wise.
And we're not worried about our cholesterol numbers.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, it's our personal experience is what's doing it.
Yeah.
And, well, who knows, 10, 20 years from now, if we're wrong, then we will have been wrong. But if we're right, the people who thought we were wrong and did the other things, they're going to be sick or dead, and we'll be right. Not that I wish bad on them, but that's the reality. You can cite all the articles and all of the supposed research that you want, but what does it do for your real health?
Right. So I listened to John Moody. John Moody gave a talk about empowering your children on the farm. I liked this so much, and I don't have little children, but I have grandchildren, that I put it on my phone in my pocket while I was working in the garden and listened to it a second time. It was so good. I loved it. If you missed it, go ahead and pay the money and get it. It was really good.
The power of a lot of what he had to say could apply to any situation.
It could.
And because
you got to hear part of that.
I got to hear part of it. But the idea of giving children real responsibilities, not take out the garbage.
And all the tools that fit them, and all the things that are their size, and helping them understand that mom and dad aren't going to work themselves into the ground. They are going to take time off, and so the kids get time off, and giving them ownership for projects. It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. Then I had David the Good. I loved that one. He talked about 7 ways to feed your garden. that are cheap or free, and it was so good. I loved it.
How many of them are we doing?
Well, we're not peeing on our garden.
We may not do much of that.
We may not do much of that, but I can understand why they do it. But the fish one, I can't wait to go to the beach and collect the kelp, because we have lots of kelp and we live near the beach, an hour away. And so I'm very excited to go do that.
It's not something we're going to do every week.
No, but it's exciting to do it. So I was really excited about that. Today's was Stacey Murphy's, and hers is on optimizing your soil. And Jim, what's the statement that you say about the soil?
It all begins with the soil.
It all begins with the soil. And so that one is really good. Then Jim had a favorite one by Jim Kennard on how to grow more how to grow more by growing up.
Right, vertical.
Vertical.
Go up. He had solutions to problems I've been trying to figure out, and his solution solved multiple problems simultaneously, and we're going to be adopting them into our gardens. We're not going to be able to do all of it to the whole garden all at once, but just the idea of taking the rows. I mean, we're doing the rows similar.
But not as intense as what did he have? 1,200 pounds of tomatoes.
But by depending on it going higher, then you don't need it to spread out as much. And we're really not trying to spread it out. But good support system for the tomatoes for sure. But being able to cover them, both on the top and on the sides, so that you can extend the season a bit, keep them safe. Very excited about that, but the same system can work for other plants, even plants that are closer to the ground.
Right.
I mean, because you don't want to grow the same plants in the same bed location year after year, because it can lead to disease and pest increases and so forth. So there needs to be some mixing up, and we're going to include that. But over time, we're going to have his trellised, whatever you want to call it.
They were nice.
I mean, whatever. I can't remember what he called them, but those are going to find their way to every bed in our garden as the tomatoes move from place to place. But other plants then will follow and be in those areas and take advantage of that system. I mean, it's a little pricey, but in our climate here, we really need to cover.
We do.
Anyway.
We have too much rain, and it leaches all the nutrients out.
And anyway, getting that change to the climate is going to help. So I'm excited to put that in place. That's
cool.
I've been trying to figure that out, and we're doing pieces and parts, but not to that extent.
Yeah, I had to call him in from his computer to mine on that one. I said, "Come here, you'll want to see this."
Anyway, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
So I got 3 more to talk about. One is Deborah Nieman, and she gave one on choosing the best livestock guardian. And I came away from that going, okay, I guess I won't get any. I wanted a llama. I was all sold on the llama until she talked about what the deer do to put the, give them, why she had to stop having her llama. And we have so many deer here, and they're white-tailed deer, so it's not something we can do. At some point, if we get another dog, it would be a Pyrenees. We had one before. We loved it.
It was part Pyrenees.
It was part Pyrenees. He knew his place outside.
Yeah.
But she, on her little offer page, I went over to some of the books that she has and ordered her book, Homegrown and Handmade. And so that one comes tomorrow along with Sally Fallon's. I'm very excited about that. After looking at the guard animals and stuff, yesterday I had the opportunity to see a new vlog, a new, is that what they're called?
I don't know, what is it?
The YouTube channel, a new YouTube channel. It wasn't new to them, it's very new to me, was Grass-Fed Homestead, and I loved it. And they were touring, and they went in and showed their llama. And there weren't deer around, and it was beautiful llama in with their sheep. And I was like, oh, see, they get to have it, and we don't. Yeah. So kudos to Grass-Fed Homestead. And last but not least, my favorite, oh, I'm sorry, two of them. Joel Salatin spoke. So as soon as he got done, I went and got his book, Salad Bar Beef, and we are definitely looking at getting this. So we're reading this in bed along with his other one, reading 2 of his books right now. and very excited.
I think what he had to say tipped the scales for us to decide that we're not quite ready. We need to move ourselves in the direction of being ready, but to get ourselves a couple of steers. Although around here there are a lot of folks who have different calves in different situations where they just need to get rid of them, and they're selling them cheap.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to see what we
may
want to
get
do.
a less than optimal beef, but get it at a price that just makes a lot of sense.
We'll see. And then my last but not least.
Anyway, the tipping of the scales was we're going to do it.
Yes, it is. Last but not least goes along with today's.
Also on that,
Okay.
the other thing that caused her that really caught her attention was the offer from,
Well, the person I'm trying to bring up right now, Justin Rhodes.
yeah,
Justin said if I buy this book, he would, and send him the receipt, he would give me permaculture chickens. And so I now have permaculture chickens. So that was really nice of Justin. As far as I'm concerned, Justin's video that he had this morning was the best video, the hands down, of any of them that I've watched. It was about the family cow. It told me things, and we've had a family cow before. It told me all the things I did wrong. It was so well done.
well, in our defense, we shared the cow with some neighbors who had experience, and
You talk for a moment. I gotta
Okay.
go check the oven.
anyway, they had experience and knowledge. They actually purchased the cow and so forth. And what we learned with them was that a lot of what they did and what we understood just didn't work. And now, as we're hearing folks who have had a lot more success, from moment one, we started making mistakes and continued making them until we finally sold the cow. Very disturbing but even at that, with our naivety and lack of knowledge, we had a great time with her.
Her name was Clarabelle, and we loved her dearly.
Yeah, and she did a great job, and it was a wonderful experience.
It was. But I love that Justin taught me about, I've always heard about sharing the calf so that you get part of the milk, but I never understood how to do it, and putting the calf up there. And this is also something that Grass-Fed Homestead talked about, that they keep the mama sheeps with the other ones so they can see them, but they can't get to them, and it causes less stress. And that's exactly what Justin did. He brought the calf up, put the calf up here, brought the mama here, so the mama could lick the baby, and not be in stress while she was being milked. I thought he did an amazing job, and I told him so. But I just thought it was great. This is a wonderful kudos to Marjory Wildcraft for putting this together. I cannot imagine the amount of work that goes into putting something like this together. Thank you so very much for doing this. And if anybody sees this and you can share it and help other people to be able to see it, maybe they can see the tail end of it and order that so they can see all of
Does
them.
she only do these once a year?
She does them once a year.
Okay.
And they're amazing.
We really enjoyed this conference. Enjoying it. It's still going on. It's been fantastic to watch it and see it. So please take advantage of it. If you get a chance, still, like I say, still a couple of days, but be watching for it next year. And I'm certain if you really, really would like to do it, Marjorie would enjoy you purchasing the whole set. You can do that after the fact. If you watch it live, you can watch them one by one for free. But if you want the whole set, she sells it, which is great. So we enjoy doing this. Please keep watching. Like if you want. Definitely subscribe, and the little bell that's up here. Which side is it on?
This side.
This side over here. If you
No,
click,
it is that side. It's that side.
it's over here on their side. Click on the bell And that way you'll get notified every time we do a new video.
We're working really hard to get subscribers up to 100, and we're climbing our way up
slowly
there.
and surely, but
So
we've
help
got
us,
a lot of
help
great
us.
people. But yeah, please help us.
And thank you to all the subscribers that we have so far. We really appreciate
We enjoy
it.
the comments. If there are things that you like about what we're doing, let us hear about it. If there are questions you have, let us hear about it. If there are suggestions, please let us hear about it. Thanks for watching.